The Arab Spring, a wave of pro-democracy uprisings that swept across the Arab world in the early 2010s, stands as one of the most significant socio-political movements of the 21st century. Beginning in Tunisia and quickly spreading to countries like Egypt, Libya, Yemen, Syria, and Bahrain, the Arab Spring was characterized by a thirst for political reform, social justice, and human rights. This documentary aims to unravel the complex narrative of the Arab Spring, from its roots to its diverse outcomes, and the ongoing challenges it presents. The Arab Spring was marked by its uniqueness. It represented a simultaneous uprising against authoritarian regimes, resonating with millions who aspired for a more democratic and equitable future. However, it was not a monolithic movement, and its outcomes varied drastically across the countries involved. This documentary will examine the factors that ignited the Arab Spring, the pivotal events in each nation, and the challenges and implications that continue to shape the region. Roots of the Arab Spring. The roots of the Arab Spring can be traced back to decades of authoritarian rule, widespread corruption, economic inequality, and political repression across the Arab world. These grievances reached a tipping point when Mohamed Bouazizi, a Tunisian street vendor, set himself on fire in protest of police harassment and economic despair in December 2010. His act of self-immolation became a symbol of resistance and triggered widespread protests in Tunisia, ultimately leading to the ousting of President Zine El Abidine Ben Ali in January 2011. The success of the Tunisian uprising served as a catalyst for other Arab nations, igniting a domino effect of protests. Egypt's Tahrir Square became a focal point, as millions gathered to demand the resignation of President Hosni Mubarak. The Egyptian Revolution in February 2011 marked a turning point in the Arab Spring, as the region witnessed the fall of an entrenched autocrat. Egypt and the wider movement. Egypt's revolution had a profound impact on the wider Arab Spring. It demonstrated that change was possible through mass mobilization and peaceful protest. However, it also underscored the challenges that lay ahead. After Mubarak's resignation, Egypt's transition to democracy was marred by political instability, military interventions, and a struggle for power between various groups. Simultaneously, Libya and Yemen were caught in the throes of revolution. In Libya, protests against Colonel Muammar Gaddafi's rule quickly escalated into a civil war, leading to international military intervention. In Yemen, President Ali Abdullah Saleh's rule was challenged by a popular uprising, culminating in a power transfer agreement. The Syrian uprising, which began in March 2011, took a distinct turn. President Bashar al-Assad's regime responded with brutal repression, leading to a prolonged and devastating civil war. The Syrian conflict would become one of the most enduring and complex crises of the Arab Spring. Balance of power and regional implications. The Arab Spring set off a delicate balance of power in the region. In some cases, long-standing regimes managed to hold onto power through force or political maneuvering. In others, leadership transitions led to new challenges and conflicts. Tunisia, often seen as the birthplace of the Arab Spring, made significant strides toward democracy with the adoption of a new constitution and peaceful transitions of power through democratic elections. However, economic and social challenges remained, highlighting the difficulties of the post-revolutionary era. In Libya, the fall of Gaddafi led to a power vacuum, factionalism, and a protracted conflict. The nation's struggle for stability and unity continues. Egypt, despite experiencing a moment of democratic hope, faced political turbulence. The military's role in politics remained prominent, and the subsequent government of President Mohamed Morsi was met with protests, culminating in a coup that brought Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to power. Yemen descended into a complex civil war, with Houthi rebels challenging the government and Saudi Arabia becoming embroiled in a regional proxy conflict. The Syrian civil war, meanwhile, evolved into a multi-dimensional conflict involving various international and regional actors, with millions of Syrians displaced and countless lives lost. Challenges and legacies. The Arab Spring's aftermath brought a series of formidable challenges. The promise of swift democratic transitions often met with complex political realities, sectarian divisions, and external influences. In some cases, uprisings led to political instability, violent conflicts, and humanitarian crises. The Egyptian Revolution initially offered hope for a democratic future, but it was followed by a military coup and a return to authoritarian rule. Egypt's experience serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of democratic transitions. Libya's post-Gaddafi era was marked by chaos, with competing militias and governments vying for control. The international community's intervention left a complex legacy, highlighting the challenges of intervention in civil conflicts. Yemen became a battleground for regional rivalries, particularly between Saudi Arabia and Iran. The conflict there has caused a humanitarian catastrophe and raised questions about the responsibility of the international community in preventing such crises. Syria, once a cradle of civilization, experienced unimaginable suffering. The Syrian civil war continues to shape global politics, with far-reaching implications for regional stability and the plight of refugees. Conclusion. The Arab Spring was a watershed moment in modern history, symbolizing the aspirations of millions for political freedom, dignity, and economic justice. It reflected the power of ordinary citizens to challenge authoritarian rule and demand change. However, it also underscored the complexity of transitioning to democracy and the potential for enduring instability. As we conclude this documentary, we recognize that the Arab Spring's reverberations continue to shape the region. The challenges of governance, economic development, sectarian tensions, and external interventions persist. The Arab Spring serves as a testament to the enduring human quest for change and justice, while also highlighting the intricate realities of a region caught in a whirlwind of transformation. It is a story of hope, struggle, and resilience, and its ultimate conclusion remains unwritten.